All right. So I'm told that particular personality came in, and we all went and shook his hands. That's why we had to get a stream off for a little bit. But anyway, what we have here, Jay How, is the grand finals. In case you missed all the hype talk and all, it's Eastern Clash representative. It's a lot of money on the line for a lot of these players, especially the fact that these players in this so-called minor region, if you will, they're expecting a big scale tournament, and this is it, right? This is everything here. Eyes on the prize. Want to make sure that at least one of these teams, whoever it is that represents Southeast Asia, I will personally be supporting them, because it's through these events that you learn, that you progress, and that Southeast Asia can finally one day hopefully win BlizzCon. I'm just kidding. No hate, guys. No hate.
You say that now. You say that now.
No
it's
hate.
actually so.
It's the dream. I mean, that's the goal, right?
I mean, it's the goal. Let's start with Eastern Clash.
Let's start with being
start
realistic.
with Eastern
That's all you're
Clash
saying.
Before we get
right?
to BlizzCon.
Let's allow Annie to have their run first, maybe. I don't know, but I'm excited. Personally excited because we actually had the mid-season brawl results a little shocking for the world. Where
I wasn't. I was not shocked at all.
I was, because I'm Asian. Look at my skin color. But the key thing here is, Korea's been so dominating throughout the entire 2016, and then now you have a little bit of a surprise. And I'm personally behind this trend because I like European players a lot. Bakery, Quacknakes, all these players, they're all really good fans of mine. I'm a fan of theirs, but we're good friends.
Are you a fan of Fan though?
I'm a fan of Fan. Everyone's a fan of Fan. How can you hate that guy?
He's a nice guy. I got to spend a lot of time with him while we were in midseason.
Great guy.
Listen, I'm just going to say this, is that it wasn't surprising to me the results at midseason brawl while we have a minute before we start the game. I was not surprised, and Korea has declined, don't get me wrong, but Fnatic, I spent a lot of time with them on the first few days before. I watched scrims, had a lot of talks with them. Their rise should be stated far more than a decline of another region. I think even if Korea was still up there, Fnatic, their play style, their confidence, their drafting, everything about what they do now and what they did in the past few months, I've been absolutely blown away with their transformation as a team. They were already good, and they just reached elite status.
See, this is where I can agree with you, because I don't think Korea as a region can decline. It's just not possible when you have that level of competition. But I would really agree that the way Europe's been handling all this tournament, a lot of good teams, stable rosters, that is the answer. Stable rosters, good training, consistency, and that's how a region improve, and that's what I hope personally that Southeast Asia can provide. Resurgence had a stable roster for more than a year and a half. Deadlykittens now, they're finally back together. I'm excited. Speaking about that, we are now going into the grand final series, set A, and it sounds like a lunch menu, but this is game number 1. Deadlykittens up against Resurgence.
This is it. You've had all day to keep an eye on Resurgence. You just saw them on Dragonshire in the series right before this, and the first ban on Uther for Resurgence. Willing to play around the supports. I feel like it's got to be Oriel, right?
We just saw Resurgence ban Oriel in every single game, and then here they ban Uther. Deadlykittens say, okay, no Oriel, and a Genji snapback. Immediate response from Resurgence. Not even gonna wait for it. That's fine. I like that a lot.
All right. Now, Deadlykittens, they like to hawk on this battleground. They have excellent awareness when it comes to the macro of this game. This is one of their better battlegrounds. They made a name for themselves absolutely on this battleground at the midseason brawl. We've seen them dominate on this before. Dahaka was a big part of that equation. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in the first 2 picks, but they've got to decide on what their second pick is. If it ends up being a Grey main, I'm cool with that. If it's a Stitches, we've seen a lot of Stitches lately. A Nubarak, of course, again, needs to be stated, this is the live patch. So this is the Anubarak nerf. So if you haven't been watching, this is the Anubarak nerf. So we haven't seen him as dominant. We haven't seen him as a highly prioritized. They're spending a lot of time thinking about this. I feel Dahaka should be here. It's just a matter of, is it the Stitches? Is it the Grey main? Maybe we just
I think it's Grey main. I think it's Grey main because Deadlykittens, they're just very comfortable by, okay.
Hit me with that Tassadar.
All right. Vala, Rhaegar. This looks like a deny. More than anything else, it is like we've been watching your games earlier on, and we realized that Vala, Rhaegar, they are so important in your lineup that we're going to just take this 2 away. And a key thing to note, guys, is that Resurgence and Deadlykittens has not faced off once at all over the last 2 weeks.
All right.
They were on opposite sides of the bracket. They had never had the chance to play with each other. This is, in fact, the first time both of these teams are playing.
If I'm Resurgence, I am terrified that the next ban from Deadlykittens will be on a Brightwing, which has been your backup option, which does well on this battleground. And then you are faced with supports we have not seen you run. So this is one thing in particular. Resurgence all of a sudden is like, wait a minute. And you talked about it. This is about as hard as a denial as you possibly could get. They go Stitches. They go Greymane. This is an amazing start to the draft. But we're going to be looking at support play here soon.
The key question is, putting Meltis on support the entire day, was it just a plan to throw off Deadlykittens? I mean, if you will just humor me. Is it just a plan? All right, we had Meltis on Rhaegar. We had X amount of success. But here's the real game now.
This is okay. You've already got your backline between Genji and Greymane already locked down. So you got to start playing towards what do they need more? They need a support, and they need something else on the front line. You can give them triple backline. So right now, again, I think this has got to be a support ban for them. They're going into Malfurion, willing to give up the Brightwing, and I'm okay with that. If you end up forcing them into a solo Brightwing, that's not the worst thing in the world, especially Vala with those auto attacks. You don't get as much value out as that Pixie does. You do have the talents at 13 for Brightwing, but for what it's worth, you are severely limiting the support pool for Resurgence, which they have not shown any flexibility outside of just a few supports.
And the key question here also lies with the fact that does RSG want to ban out a Tassadar? Tassadar is the other alternative, but if they do ban it out here, if they don't ban it out here, there's also the possibility of Deadlykittens picking up the Tassadar along with Vala. Lots of value right there. And if they do ban it out, once again, the support pool is just so narrow right now. Oh, man, this is not going to be easy for RSG, but they made the call to go Stitches Greymane. They know exactly what they want, and it looks fantastic. The key question here is, how wide of a hero pool does your support player have?
You know, and the Malfurion over something like the Brightwing obviously makes sense. You don't want to get the hook into the roots. Obviously, 16-second cooldown on a hook is a lot shorter than a 60-second cooldown on a cleanse. So it's going to be the Arthas ban looking to deny a lot of that frontline control. I'm okay with that. A Nubrek is still available, so we'll see if we get that. But Deadlykittens has to make some decisions on how they're going to deal with a flanking Genji and a diving Greymane. We've seen them play some Tyrael. We've seen them play a lot of things. I feel like a Nubarak is necessary. I'd be okay with a Nubarak to Haka here and just flex your last pick to counter because you know your last pick is going to be a damage dealer. And Resurgence already picks up 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, personally, though, I would want to go Tassadar. And then one of the 2 options you mentioned, either the Dahaka or maybe even let's consider the fact that, you know, you may want to go for a frontline Tyrael. I think Tyrell's also going to be able to bail out the back line a little bit in the sense that you have Genji and Greymane going in. You want to make sure that they stay alive, and that is a possibility there to run this lineup.
The scary thing, I love the Tassadar pickup. The scary thing about running a Tyrael is you are lacking that CC. True. And it's going to be hard if a Genji comes in, Greymane comes in. You don't have that hard CC to really deal with it. They go the tier. I'm okay with this compositionally wise. You play to your strengths. You have really good control. The Vala task, we already know. The Rhaegar, good support. You've got tier. You still need your solo laner. Dahaka can fit that. Dahaka does have some form of control. He also has that frontline control. Gets that big AoE vulnerability at 13. So you can deal with a lot of that. But again, you've got heroes between a Vault from Vala, the dimensional shift from Tassadar. You've got the dive or the get out with Eldruin's Might for Tyrael. You've got a lot of protection there for Stitch's hook, but you've got to supplement that in some other way. So they've got really good control. They've got really good counters right now in terms of dealing with a lot of that push. So I like where they're going right now.
I'm just going to ask you a serious question here, Jay How. Do you think that if they go full on blow up potential on the Vala, they can still kill the Vala with like maybe a KT Pyroblast?
No.
No?
Would
you consider that? Because
well, you've got Tassadar shields. Tyrael's got the built-in spell armor. You know, you've got the sanctification as well. As long as those shields are used appropriately.
Okay.
But Morales Dahaka.
All right. So they snatched the Dahaka away. They go with Morales, which is fine. We've seen Morales being played by Resurgence before a couple of games ago. Don't really recall which one it is, but Yeah, they've been playing like, what, 8 BO3s already? So
Well, okay, so the bigger part about the Dahaka ban is, one, you take it away from Deadlykittens for the global control, but you also take away the flank potential. And right now you're looking at Vala tasks that don't just walk past a tank into a Morales, especially when you've got that much phasing. And Dahaka is generally one of those heroes that flanks, uses the bushes, and comes in and disrupts that, and then just creates chaos for Morales. So you've denied that as well. So that's a huge power play right now for Resurgence. I like that. Now Deadlykittens has got to be thinking, like, wait a minute, that was what we wanted. That's why I think that the Tyrael pickup was a little weird, or the Tassar pickup. The prioritization felt a little off to me. And now all of a sudden your counter pick is now on the other team. So you've got to decide on a solo laner. That's what they need. Is it going to be a Thrall? Is it going to be a Sonya? They've got to decide. They've got a few seconds.
it's probably a Chen.
Chen would be amazing against Morales. Absolutely amazing against Morales.
Okay, you're right. It's a Thrall. You know, I never thought I'd predict Chen, but we just saw Chen today, and I feel that Chen has got a potential, but Thrall's still pretty okay. I don't think it will be Sundering.
No.
Should be the Earthquake. Should be, once again, flanking potential on the Thrall to come in on the side. You land the Earthquake, and then the rest of the team, you know, just waltz their way into it. The other option there could be the Medivh, but a little lackluster. It's just that I like Medivh a lot because I feel that there's potential there, but hold on a second. We have been casting this completely wrong.
It's backwards.
Yeah. The sides of the teams were wrong in the first place, so we do apologize for that. This is hashtag production issues.
The Dahaka makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, okay. So you know, just to let you know, it's not my fault. It's not his fault. We both are just sitting here to talk. But the sites are mixed up, so Resurgence is the team with the Vala, Rhaegar, Tyrael, Tessar, and Thrall. And that makes sense.
It does. It fits to their draft history and the draft history over here. And it's so weird to see Murr on Morales.
I know he's going to right-click a lot. That's for sure.
The Dahaka versus Thrall approach, actually, it's going to be a moot point, and it's going to be up to Genji to kind of flex up there to give that support onto that Thrall. The minute you see that Wind Fury go out, something like that, you can kind of time it. You call it out if you're the Dahaka player, and then you try and look for that flank potential, try and put that pressure on the Thrall. But I believe we are ready. Babel, Dragonshire, Grand Finals, Blizzard, SEA, no helping hand there. We are going to have Resurgence facing off against Deadlykittens.
And in the blue team, Capricorn will be Vala, Yu Yang on the Tyrael, Meltis as the Rhaegar, Zappy on Thrall, and Pizza Xiao onto the Tassadar.
And on the right side will be Deadlykittens. Stronger will be on Stitches, Murr on Lieutenant Morales, Zaze on Genji, Inavir on Dahaka, and NSJ rounding it out on Greymane.
Well, this makes a lot more sense right now. It does, because the fact that we thought that Deadlykittens was just being flexible by snatching picks away to the point that we didn't realize that Resurgence was just picking what they're comfortable with. And that's okay. And also, Greymane is a huge priority for Deadlykittens, and you just saw that being put to good use here by the red team. They really love that Greymane a lot, and that's going to them.
So we see the minions slow. This is a strategy when you know you don't have that early game skirmish. You want to avoid the hooks. You delay your minions. You'll see the minions move just a little bit slightly on the side, make it a little bit safer clear there as we see both teams median in the middle.
All right, first hook from Stronger, not going to connect, and Murr's positioning so far pretty okay, and SJ going in. But also still, although the sites are wrong, but the plays should still apply in the sense that we should be expecting Zappy with the flank on the backside against Murr. And the hook on the minion there, Stronger second hook fill already top lane. Solo, Thrall, and here we have Genji with the flank. And this is what I love about a good Genji. You really want to rotate and apply pressure on that solo laner.
That's exactly how you got to play it. You've got to keep the pressure on there. You got to keep Thrall honest. You keep him honest, you get to that shrine phase. The minute you see him try and get up on that shrine, you can go.
Okay, the hook on the Capricorn is going to be able to pull back. Displacement grenade not going to connect. NSJ now 1 against 3. Going to be a little bit more careful. Murray's mana's like 50%, so that's fine. Pizza taking a bit of a beating from NSJ, but we'll be okay. In terms of shrine, we're seeing RSG, the blue on the bottom, and Deadlykittens, the red on top.
And we look at that, we can see Genji continue to put the pressure on there. Zappy, the tongue is going to land. This is exactly how you play a Genji comp. You do that. This is something that we saw. It used to be a Zeratul, and now Genji's like, I'm the new Zeratul. I'm going to come in here, and he plays the exact same way as the hook going in. He's going to land onto Capricorn as he's going to go down. That is 2 kills to start the game.
Very good start here for Deadlykittens. Apparently already warmed up, despite just watching the series. They know exactly what they want. They want to go back onto the world stage, and that's why they have to win this set.
come out firing. I mean, this is a way to make a statement. You say, I am the best team in this region. I'm going to come out. I'm going to dominate early game. I'm going to get a DK 2 minutes in. I'm going to get 2 kills. I'm going to control this game. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, very nice structural control already coming in. Very organized. And DK already in the mid lane, going directly for the well. Stronger. Getting a bit of walled in action from both Yu Yang and Meltis. He's going to be able to just toss the Vala away. He's still going to be fine. I think he should be able to get one structure at least, but without the well, this is a big difference here for Resurgence.
Yeah, and, you know, early DKs are not that strong. It ate up a lot of ammo, which can help play to getting that lane control. You know, we saw that on the mini-map, the top lane control again. And so right now, it actually didn't look like they got much. But if we take a look at that lane, all the ammo's gone. The top lane as well. They're going to try and get the flank onto Inavir, which is going to be good. No hard CC, but they have enough damage to get him before that Brush Stalker out.
They got a root, though. The root.
So, oh, the root did land. Okay.
Yeah, the Feral Spirit did land there. Zayce is going to be fine. In terms of EXP, still pretty even. Stronger now. Going to expire. And there we go. He's going to come back. Oh, wow. An immediate hook there. That is unexpected. If it did land, would be so good.
It's like DK has a hook now. But either way, good pick there, trying to even things up a little bit. Again, when it comes to that overall control, as we see Zappy, Zay's up there. There's the Feral Spirit. You know, Thrall's Feral Spirit received a few changes recently, Babel.
Yeah, it's going to connect behind the main target as well, and that is a beautiful buff for Thrall to have. The key thing here is Zappy running back to the side, staying alive, just like the BGs, is very, very good for the team because he is the solo top laner. If he does go down there, it would be a loss of EXP again.
Well, Siege Camp going to be pushing in. The other Siege Camp will be in defense, but as I said, that DK warranted a much larger value just by getting a lot of the ammo down, a lot of that structure value, and as you can see, NSJ being held up by Morales, and there's just not enough to burst through that. They continue to hold.
Aggressive dogs again. Last time you saw that was pretty decisive. This time around, not so much. But level 7 both sides. In terms of kill count, still pretty even. And Jeha, what do you think of the talents?
Everything is pretty standard across the board except for the Dragon Claw. This is actually the second time we've seen it. You know, it just recently got buffed to get a little bit extra damage, and now we're seeing it picked up for the second time. So we'll see if we can get that burst damage, get on that back line. And again, if you can get on there on the back line as Genji and those shields are down, you can really create havoc on that backside.
All right, bottom area, you see a sneaky play from Deadlykittens already going for the Bruiser cam. Mer's going to be here. That's just going to make sure NSJ is going to have more than enough to pick this up. I don't think Stronger should swing by, but just going to make sure that, you know, they're in time for that. And on the flip side, Resurgence is going for top left camp. That's going to help them with the top lane.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Stronger coming in there, keeping it safe. All right, well, we see the experience pretty even. Night Camp picked up at the top is going to give some control up there. As we can see, Yu Yang is just waiting in the wing, trying to get onto Inavir, but Inavir just keeps in and out of the bush, going forward under no real threat, and this Night Camp at the bottom now has to be responded to.
It's another well, immediate well. Inavir trying to run away now. Zayce is in the vicinity, but waiting for the root to go next. Coming in from Zappy. Yu Yang still giving chase so far. Feral Spirit now going to connect. Lightning. Chain Lightning going to connect, but Mer is in the vicinity, and Yu Yang is going to get punished. He does go down towards the end.
Oh! Hit him with that beast step. I mean, that was so well played. So well played there by Deadlykittens.
Right, Zappy going to be fine. They are going to lose the first wave of this shrines. Zappy going to try to run away there. The root going to come in, but a borrow from Inavir. He's going to be fine.
I mean, this combination of Inavir and
but the DK though.
Lane, yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they're giving it up, but they've got 10, and pretty soon Meltis not going to be a whole lot to do with this. He'll be collapsed upon. I mean, it's a nice sneak in. It buys time, and it gives you time to get 10. So, not a bad play there.
All right, he's going to be able to just take up some structures in front. I think he wants to go for the well, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He had a hook onto the DK. Big target. Is it a hit? Top lane. You see the aggression coming up from the rest of Resurgence. A bit of a split push in position. Yu Yang, however, needs to stay alive.
Isolation.
Yep, he's going to be okay for now. And he drops Sanctification, waiting for the cooldown on the Druid. He's going to be able to run back up. But Stronger is in position, though. The ally still not in play. Yu Yang will still go down, and it is at what cost, though?
I mean, giving up a lot right now. 5 kills to 1. And this is exactly, these are the small things that I've seen as we see Zayce going in trying to get more. But these are the small things that I saw Deadlykittens pick up as we see the tongue onto Pizza. Now the hook, they're going to follow, but the dimensional shift is still available. But again, these are the small things that I've seen Deadlykittens. This is a changed team. This is what they saw at the midseason brawl. Now they're picking it up, trying to do it themselves. Earthquake out, though.
Capri gonna be fine. Some shields coming in. Zays with the protect going in, picks up the kill. Swift strikes back out. Gonna be fine. No Resurgence in the background there. Stronger with the Gorge already on one target and the drag on the other. Zappy now gonna pull back out. The Ancestral not gonna connect. And Zays dropping a little bit extra HP. Yu Yang finally back in the fight, but may actually also be in a bad spot. No outdoing here. He's probably gonna be able to run back out just nicely off cooldown.
Whew. Deadlykittens turning up the heat right now. Resurgence all day. You've had that momentum, but Deadlykittens says, what momentum?
Still very nice play there by Zays. You gotta really respect the fact that he was so low. The protect was going in. We're gonna replay, by the way, to bring a highlight of that fight once more. And here we go. So if you look at it, it all started right here. They don't have Yu Yang. He's actually gonna mount on and come out from the base directly. Nice earthquake coming in. But if you look at the positioning of Meltis, he's so far back. It decides to try and save Zappy right now, but just a second too slow. Eniver is just taking so much of the heat, but there is the Morales that's completely ignored. There goes the Ancestral, a second too slow, and that's all that mattered at the end.
Yeah, I don't want to be too critical there, but Rhaegar actually found somebody along the way, decided to bite him, and he was running desperately to try and get that Ancestral on follow. So instead of support, he played a little bit more offensively, and I think the timing was just off, and you got to credit Genji there for capitalizing on that as we are back in the game, and you can see Siege Camps continue to push forward. Level 13 picked up here for Deadlykittens. The hook's going to land.
Big
There's
target.
the Gorge.
Rhaegar. Notice engage whatsoever. Yu Yang going to go in to try and make sure Meltis is fine. Energy dropping a little bit. The Ancestral, everything coming out of the arsenals from Resurgence. And then we have finally a Dragon Blade in position. Meltis going to drop a little extra HP there. Should be going down pretty soon. Will go down. And here comes a crazy dog. NSJ picks out 3 to 4 members of Resurgence. Will go down. Only Thrall on top.
Just unreal team fighting, unreal collapse. The sanctification a little early in that team fight. But again, every minor mistake that Resurgence is making, Deadlykittens is just turning this game on its head and dominating Resurgence here.
Very nicely done. This also unlocks the DK. They already have the bottom shrine. And then we're going to get a top one. Another replay for you guys of that fight just now. While Zays channels up the Dragon Knight. This was a pretty short one here, I think. You can see that it all started with this hook against Meltis. Stronger. Nobody knew how he knew that there's a Rhaegar behind the wall there. Yu Yang dropping a Sanctification because he thought that it's going to be a fight here. But the Ancestral onto Capricorn as well. Just a little bit tad too early and uncalled for. This is where the Ancestral should be needed, not before.
And that's the whole thing, is that you got to recognize your team comp. You're a Vala comp focused on skirmishing. There's no Thrall there. And you've got to really pick and choose when you're trying to hard engage. You're also running the strafe. There's the Gorge again. We're going to see Yu Yang come in and try and lend that support. And they're trying to get that. That is Tassadar. He's going to get away. But now they're starting to turn the fight stronger in all kinds of trouble. The cleanse is going to be used, but that's going to be Stitches going down. They're continuing to try and take this fight. Morales keeping everybody alive. Innovator going underground. He's going to stay alive for the moment. And they're going to be able to walk away, but they're going to try and turn this.
Okay, NSJ definitely going to hunt on Vala there. Yu Yang gonna be fine. NSJ again with a flank. There goes the Ancestral, and now NSJ out of position. No heals whatsoever. Hungering Arrow, one last hit, and he gets the kill. But Eniver in the backline, no Pizza will likely fall.
It's gonna fall. We've got a 2-for-1 trade so far. Innovator continuing to go in and trying to do the damage. He's trying to stay alive. Morales keeping him alive. Tunneling Claws gonna push him away, but they're collapsing onto the Morales and turning this fight again. Is going in, and Zays all of a sudden starting to clean up as Dragon Blade is out, Babel.
All right, Yu Yang trying to make sure that Meltis can stay alive a little bit, taking on all those shuriken. Is gonna be able to run away or not, Zays.
Oh, man. He's going in.
Okay.
No, he missed. Still gets it. He doesn't have the reset, but he still got the kill.
Insane amount of presence right there. He knew exactly that if he is going to Swift Strike directly through the camp, he's not sure if the Giant's going to be there. And he's going to draw aggro, but just by getting the extra kill, gets all the value there for Deadlykittens.
Things got sloppy there for a minute for Deadlykittens, but turning it around on the heels of Zays coming on a DK, and he's like, guys, I'm actually a real hero under disguise of a big Dragon Knight. Let me come back here. I am Genji.
All right, and still 2 level 8 for Deadlykittens. Resurgence now playing on a back foot. They have got 1-4 down. Still far from the game being done, but you can tell the dominance here from Deadlykittens. Very convincing, and the team is going to start this camp in the bottom lane.
So is that how it works? Dragon Blade, Dragon Knight, if you're Genji.
Yeah.
Is that a necessity?
Dragon Blade, Dragon Knight. I don't think you can actually pop that in Dragon Knight, but
you should.
At the end of the day,
you should be able to wield his big old axe sword and just it look cool.
Insane. All right, we have Endeavor using the isolation onto Zappy. Yu Yang swings by.
He's in trouble.
He should be in a bad spot, but the Earthquake also going to be used here. Lots of resources committed. They better make sure they get the kill, and they do. But the bottom keep, though, we got someone knocking at home.
If you tell me I'm trading a Dahaka death at 12 minutes in for a keep, give me a keep.
Very nice. Very nicely done. Capricorn now trying to apply some form of defense, but Thrall trying to maximize value on top as well. I think it's going to be able to get a shrine, but they need a fight 16 to 18. This is where Resurgence can probably try and salvage this game.
And that's the thing, is you have Dahaka, which means you're going to have global control of this game, and with the catapults pushing, your ways to control the game are very limited, as Vala is by herself. And Babel?
This is pretty much a dead Vala right there. Yeah, just too far out. Nothing the rest of the team could do. Meltis now takes a bit of beating from Zace. Dragon Blade coming out as well. Slow's coming in. Meltis still going to be fine. Dahaka swings by. This could be the change, but Isolation not going to connect. Yu Yang also going to sidestep a little bit, but still not out of trouble yet. Energy going to be in there. Here goes the Sanctification. Zappy swings by, hoping to drop the Earthquake real soon, but it's not going to be able to do anything. Walks in and will die, doing nothing at all.
They're going to continue to try and follow up there. Meltis is going to live. The reset not going to be there on Genji's E, but they are sieging up. 2 members down. They're starting to get onto the core. Shields are falling right now, and they are doing everything they can to end this game. Tassadar shields are going to be there. Yu Yang on the backside is going to fall, Babel.
All right, they will not get a chance to play as 5-member team for the rest of this game. Vala's back out, but too many mistakes been done. Murph finally going to drop, but already going to spam the Steam Drone on Zaze, and game 1 will go to Deadlykittens in convincing fashion.
19 kills to 16. Zaze plays all day right there. That is one of the most impressive games I have seen all weekend. That is more impressive than I saw Deadlykittens in their first series against a team that was severely outmatched. I mean, that right there, the display that they just put on in game number 1 against Resurgence in the grand finals, they're making a statement to come out. That is beyond impressive.
It almost feels like they're holding back the whole time, doesn't it? It almost feels like every single time they play against other teams, they don't even try so hard. But here, man,
you know you're holding back when you get the jukes as Dahaka and you hit him with that B step, though.
All right, so game 1 will go to Deadlykittens, and Resurgence now still not out of the competition yet, but they will be in the event they lose the next game. So, well, a lot's on the line for these guys, and I'm pretty sure that having the first loss of the day is going to eat at them a little bit. But before we go on, we do have a replay of the last fight. Nope, that has been canned. So, man, this information I'm getting needs to be updated. But, all right, so what we do have is just Deadlykittens, man, doing daily stuff.
But that is their battleground. That is their battleground. That's what they're known for. It's what they made their name for on several ones. So it's a chance for Resurgence to come back. And I tell you what, one of the things that I saw back in April was a matter of Resurgence taking them in different places. And it was, I'd love to see a Tomb game. If you are taking map pick here, take them to Tomb. Take them somewhere to where you know that you're not going to get rotated on as heavily. You can force those team fights that we know Resurgence likes to take. They love to fight. They love to fight, and they've been doing it all day. And they ran into the best team in the region, and so now you've got to try your hand at something different. Because Dragonshire, it's off the table now. You have a chance. This is the best of 3. Go ahead and try and mix it up a little bit. Take them somewhere different and see what you can do. I don't want to see a large battleground because I think Deadlykittens has too much macro focus in their strategies that they might be able to just out-rotate Resurgence. So I am curious what is going to be our next battleground.
I do believe that Tomb has been banned.
It was banned.
I believe it was banned. I'm not sure. We need more information from the admins for that. But that'll be exciting to see. So here, Resurgence decides for first pick, and Deadlykittens going to pick the map again. So I guess the dream of going different places as a tourist is not going to come true.
I mean, some teams just love that.
The bans are Sky Temple and Battlefield of Eternity, so that's fair.
But some teams prefer that first pick. It gives them that flexibility. But again, the fact that Arl's been banned out in most of our games, it really kind of throws off some of these newfangled strategies that we see. So you got to fall back on more traditional styles that we generally get. So again, we're waiting to see what battleground we're headed to. Dragonshire again is done. It's Deadlykittens battleground. It's out of the way. And I want to see if Resurgence can turn this around because that game one.
It's not close.
Man.
Not close at all. You have the top lane dying a couple of times due to good plays from I think both the Genji as well as the Haka. Just very good macro or rather micro rotational play coming in and making sure that you lose the XP on top and then they rotate down the bottom. It's just a team effort. And throughout the entire game, I've only seen one time where they were able to kill Mer on the Morales. It's like Mer's not even a focus for them. They're just trying to split the fight in multiple directions, and at the same time, you saw very potent Dahaka being played by Eniver. He's always being able to not just flank, but apply pressure on squishy targets like Tassadar, even ending up with a kill there.
They played the game they were supposed to. Genji was supposed to go to that top lane, was supposed to put the pressure, supposed to get those ganks. He did. And then they were supposed to, on the side of Resurgence, you pick a TAS Vala skirmishing comp, not a dive comp. And yet they tried to force fights. They tried to hard engage in fights. It didn't really work out. They did it sometimes without Thrall. It's like, understand your composition, play a little bit safer. I think if you give Vala time to work there, it looks a lot different. But Deadlykittens put the pressure on and forced them into some of these team fights, and that was the hardest thing. And, you know, we did have an update on the next Battleground. Deadlykittens taking the Battleground pick. Resurgence opted to take first pick, and we are going to be headed to Infernal Shrines, where, again, the macro focus is going to be there, but this one, you know that there's going to be some team fighting around the objective.
Yeah, it's going to be very different because Dragonshire is more around skirmishes. It's more around split fights. You're not really expecting a big 5v5. Most of the time, not going to happen. And the way Resurgence play really focuses on a 5v5. So when you don't have Thrall for most of those fights, Zappy is a great player, but when he is forced to play the Thrall on the solo lane, then the rest of the team naturally looks to Capri, who is the other damage dealer, and in that sense, not able to really apply some form of pressure compared to having a Dahaka, which would have been able to join the fight at any point in time. So that's the flexibility that Dragonshire has, but Infernal Shrines, very different battleground.
I just think about the game we saw earlier. Zappy on Vala on this, just absolutely terrorizing people, and he had the proper support. And I got a feeling that Genji's probably going to be banned out this game in first ban. It's going to be like Genji, Ariel. You got to play around that. I think
it won't get banned. I think Ariel will get banned. I think that if likely, maybe you would see Deadlykittens ban Genji, which is going to unlock Stitches here for Resurgence. I think that's the first 3 picks for me.
Then that's what we're going to play around. We're going to play around Stitches, we're going to play around Genji, and we're going to play around Vala, and I'm sure Ariel's not going to make it through, so we just kind of forgo that.
Yeah.
But maybe an early Tassadar pick up, things like that. I'm excited to see as we are getting our game lobby ready. We're going to be there in just a moment.
I think that there will possibly be a Greymane again.
Oh, yeah.
Being prioritized very early on, maybe 1-2 pick for Deadlykittens. It's going to be a Greymane, possibly an Uther as well. But the way I look at it, unless they want to deny the Vala, which if they wanted to, they would have done so in the first game. So it's apparent that they really don't care at that point. They want to stick to their guns, which is what I know Deadlykittens love to do. Remember last regional when Zappy was playing Zeratul out of his mind against some of the other teams like Malpok? And then in the entire series, Deadlykittens just banned out Zeratul. Says, no Zeratul for you. And they won.
And that's the part that surprises me. I've seen zero Zeratul prioritization. I talked about Genji's kind of like the new Zeratul and kind of a lot of things that he wants to do, but it surprises me that we haven't seen it. And oftentimes it's kind of like, I've said it so many times this weekend, but it's not about individual skill on whether an individual can play the Zeratul. It oftentimes revolves around, can your team play around Zeratul, and that takes practice, that takes strategy, and again, there's such new heroes, there's a very different meta that if you're not practiced on it, maybe it's something you're not comfortable with going on it. So we are going to be going into the draft here in just a moment. We're getting a notice on that, but again, it's more team focused than it is individual focus. And if your team isn't comfortable with it, haven't practiced in a while because they've been practicing this new meta, then it tends to fall out of favor. And it surprises me because the Zeratul consistently at every major global tournament and every region, Zeratul consistently has one of the single individual highest win rates because of what he can do in a game. And it surprises me sometimes when he disappears. He'll always come back. But it does surprise me a bit when he disappears completely.
I think it's the fact that Genji is a better replacement for Zeratul in this meta, and even if Genji's banned out, Zeratul may not be a priority here. Just not gonna be easy to play against double support as a Zeratul. But that said, game number 2, Resurgence now. I hope we got the sights right though. We'll be the first pick and ban, so they will be on the left side. Deadlykittens on the right. 1-0 is the score, Jay-How.
1-0 is the score. Again, Resurgence opting for first pick over Battleground control. And they've got to try and figure this out. If they don't ban Ariel, they're going to ban Ariel. That is surprising to me. I feel like if Genji makes it through, they take Genji. And if I'm Deadlykittens, I'm banning potentially Uther. If you leave Genji, right? So if you don't ban Genji, you get the Stitches.
Oh.
But instead, they're opting to give them Genji if they so choose.
They will.
Yeah.
Jinjoni Shobu. Here comes Genji. I don't even know what that means, but Deadlykittens now with 2 picks. You can expect to see a Grey main up there. You can expect to see an Uther, I think, would be the first 2 picks. In the event that they don't prioritize the support, you may even get to see an early Dahaka, because Dahaka is just so staple for Deadlykittens.
It's weird right now. So Uther Greymane, I think, would be absolutely phenomenal right now. I would not mind a Tassadar in that, but Uther Greymane, I think, is a really good start no matter what. You do potentially give up Vala Tass here.
They will want to get Vala Arthas. Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
Yep. I just know this, guys. The reason for that is because Arthas was banned out in the last game. They feel like Yu Yang on that T-Real's not really able to provide the kind of terror that he has on Arthas. And Deadlykittens now opting for a secondary ban. Could be the Rhaegar.
The Rhaegar ban, I would not mind. You know, we've seen it a lot out of Resurgence. It's something that they tend to fall back on, but
is it an impact? That's the key question, because we've seen it being an impact across other teams, but when Resurgence fought against Deadlykittens just now, it means the Ancestral wasn't able to really apply some form of pressure, but I guess they're just going to make the whole draft a lot easier. Yeah,
I mean, the whole thing, is it as impactful as a lot of the heroes? No, but it's something we know Resurgence plays. His Lightning Shield obviously does well in terms of the objective, and that's not the sole purpose, but he does contribute more to this battleground than he does to, say, Dragonshire. So it's definitely, I think, a good ban, both targeted and for this. And we are seeing the Dahaka hover. You talked about it earlier. Dahaka making it past the second ban phase for a team like Deadlykittens. Just way too much to give up. I like the Dahaka ban.
Yeah, love it. Love the Dahaka ban. I think that going for Tassadar on the side of Deadlykittens is a viable option thereafter. But they will likely want to lock in the tier as well. We've seen some really good tier plays out of Stronger this entire weekend, and I want to see that being put into action as well.
They're taking a bit of time, and it could just be they're vocalizing their strategies beyond this.
Yeah.
They do lock in the Dahaka ban. It's up to Deadlykittens to try and make an impact. You know, we talked about Anubarak falling out of priority here recently. If they want to play it safe, I would almost be okay right now with a Johanna in this draft. Give yourself that objective control. Give somebody that can get the blinds on Vala. Give somebody that allows you to go in and just overall control. It's a soft control, and it's generally a much later option. You don't normally say Johanna first, but if you're not feeling comfortable on the Anubarak nerfs, then Johanna is a great fallback option.
Johanna is a viable pick for sure. The other alternative is to go for the Tyrael right here. Johanna, well, for me, it would be wise to go for the Tassadar. Yeah. I want to see
for
Tass.
Sure.
Yeah, Tass, there we go. And Tyrael.
Okay.
Right. Because Joe, you know, he doesn't have a big button for you to push to save the rest of your teammate, which I think Deadlykittens recognize that they need to do that in the event that the fight goes wrong. We've seen Deadlykittens also lose on a couple of team fights before. But the question I have here, Jay-How, is what is Zay's going to play? It looks like he is going to flex the last spot.
Well, you know, we see him make a lot of plays for the team. And it's a hero that I always love to watch, a player that I always love to watch. You know, NSJ obviously will likely be on the gray main.
Oh, that's possible.
But that's the thing, is like this team, we talk about flexibility in teams. Deadlykittens probably one of the more flexible teams. They've seen a little bit of change in terms of the way that they've prioritized things with their roles. But it is on Resurgence to try and make something happen. Obviously, they've got to get their support here. They don't have a whole lot to worry about. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the double support right now, but it's what we've seen a lot of out of Resurgence.
Yeah, Brightwing.
Brightwing for sure.
Maybe Malfurion? That's a little tough. And it's going to be Brightwing Karazim. So still double support. Solo Arthas as the tank. You can almost be sure that Meltis will be playing as the Karazim there. It has worked a little bit, but the last time it was on Karazim, they had an Abathur. Abathur not considered at all.
I'd actually like an Abathur here for Deadlykittens.
That works as well.
They give them the control. You give the clone target. You already have good Shrine Clear with the Tyrael, Tassadar, Greymane, Uther. There's nothing wrong about that, but if you want to go onto that front line, then by all means, get that extra damage up there. Get that control. Dahaka's taken away from you. Where are you going to get that global control that you're known for?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a false stat, though. No. So Dahaka's gone. False stat, no. Maybe you're right. Abathur looks decent, but it's going to be a Sonya. All right, so they want to take the team fight to the next level, and it makes perfect sense here because what's going to stop the Sonya? Probably just the Polymorph, I think, from
that's actually scary.
Side.
That's scary. I mean, you get that in there, you get the Whirlwind going out, you get that heal value, you have the Polymorph, and it's something that if you're trying to watch that, I'm trying to look at this draft. So Brightwing, Karazim, Arthas, Vala. I don't think Leap would be a thing, but if you're really trying to put pressure on that Vala, really get to that back line, you have Tyrael. You have Greymane. Yes. You have Uther. So you've got all the protection in the world. You've got Tassadar who can dive in and dive out. It's one of the things that he can do, plus shield one of those heroes going in. So you have ultimate protection between Sanctification. But that's the thing, is if you're trying to pick off that Vala, Karazim is going to have to – think about if you're Deadlykittens and you sit on your heroics the same way that you can normally do. If you don't see Divine Palm, you can go into the Judgment Leap and just dive back there. Exactly. And that's the thing, is that sometimes it's a matter of it's not a planned thing. It's a reactive thing, and it's not a bad reactive thing at all. So those are things that I want to see as we get later into the draft or later into the game to see how they deal with that.
I was about to say the Palm is going to be a huge problem for that kind of a dive comp, but from what you just mentioned, pretty much viable. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 of the Grand Finals. Deadlykittens on the right side, Resurgence on the left. Pizza Xiao going to be your Brightwing, Yu Yang on the Arthas, Meltis as the Karazim, Capricorn on Vala, Zappy on the Genji. Give them your energy.
And on the right will be the Deadlykittens once more with Mur on Uther, Stronger on Tyrael. Zay's going to be making the plays this time on Sonya, NSJ on Greymane, and Inavir rounding it out on Tassadar.
This is exciting. I mean, we've seen Deadlykittens apply a lot of good pressure across all the games they've played so far in this tournament, and I'll be honest with you, they look the best so far.
By far.
Convincing. And it's on another level.
It really feels like they've taken a lot of small, subtle things that they saw at the midseason brawl and experienced for themselves. So that's the one thing that I've noticed the most about this. And I want to see them, if they wrap it up in a 2-0 here, then by all means, they have a very, very bright future in a few weeks.
And they finally break the curse of having a Rabasat played in Southeast Asia. So, man, I'm looking forward to that. Here's Zappy in position, coming in. NSJ takes a bit of a beating. Meltis goes a little bit too aggressive. We'll be able to pull back out. Top lane, though, you have the Brightwing up against Zace and Enever. Not an easy lane here for Friend.
Brightwing's going to have a lot of problems. Oftentimes I continue to see this with Resurgence, and it's one of the reasons why you can get away with it with Rhaegar, is that Rhaegar has a little bit of wave clear. Brightwing herself struggles a little bit in that department, especially as a solo laner. So that lane's going to get pushed in, and if you're not dominating the other lanes, Genji doesn't have good wave clear. Bala's your best bet. Arthas helps in a little bit. Karazim doesn't do much. So it allows this split that we're seeing from Deadlykittens, and it's an advantage they can manipulate.
Right, so currently still pretty even. Top lane, you see a lot of pressure from Sonya already. Vala going to rotate up north a little bit just to help out Brightwing. I think it's a good call, given the fact that Pizza's not going to be able to hold the lane by himself. I see the aggression onto Enever. Zay swings by with a whirlwind. Capricorn just does not know how to stop.
Capricorn always going, but that was, again, you saw the Polymorph was out right before that. You can freely use that whirlwind to go over, get a little bit of heal, and get on out. So, again, recognizing opportunities is one thing Deadlykittens has done a lot here as we see Zays continue to go back in. But that is the response that we'll have to see in the team fight right there. Poly, the minute that whirlwind goes on.
Okay, and now Meltis in the bottom lane. They don't really have a global on this side, or in fact for both teams, so they all have to manually write their mounts up to the top lane. Yu Yang, mid lane, takes a bit of a beating. Should be able to land a root there. Gets a little bit extra quest done.
Going to try and follow up on this, but there's no way you can get a kill this early in the game. We're talking about a lot of sustained damage, and the burst isn't going to be there yet for Genji. So we are seeing the first shrine here. Slight lead to start off for Deadlykittens.
And Capricorn trying to do whatever he can to fight for the Guardians. We still have Zappy waiting for an angle to go in, NSJ with the shield on him, buying some time, and Zappy going in to apply a little bit extra pressure. Will be able to get back out with 6 strike.
Again, a lead in the skeletal defenders, and Sonya and Tassadar do so well in clearing that. It's going to help out tremendously. Obviously, we've got the Holy Fire from Uther, so when he's in there, look for things just to start to fall. But Zay's going in. The minute he hits that whirlwind, we see the polymorph. They're trying to turn onto Zay's, getting that damage in, but the shields are going to keep him around.
And Yu Yang takes a bit of extra damage. Got to be very careful. Zappy looking for an opening to go in. They are all now going to tap the wall. They still have got very good lead. 9 more counts on the Guardian before they are able to get the Punisher out for them. Stronger looking to make an entrance here. Takes a lot of damage. Genji going to be okay. He already lost the Disciple Agility. Capricorn against the backline. Greymane does go down. Zappy now pulling back out once more. Deadlykittens, they're still not out yet. They still have got mana on Mur. They can still sustain and want to pick this fight if they do. Meltis takes a bit of a beating. Going to be okay. Zappy with the flank again. Picks up 1 kill. Gets the reset. Oh, by the damage, though.
That's twice now. Zappy is continuing to make the plays. We are going to see the Punisher go over, but they're giving up a lot in the process to get at Zays. The Polymorph's going to be on there. This should be the death, but Zays instantly hits the spear, goes in on Genji, who's been playing with fire for a while now. The Punisher coming in to get the stun as well. Mur trying to get on there, but I tell you what, that entire play started with Zappy baiting out. Greymane dove in. Perfect time on the deflect, needing to stay alive. And I think right there, Zappy played with fire for far too long. He got away with a lot, but in the end, he got punished.
It's just the fact that they were not able to focus on the Guardians in the moment, and you have Enver, a very good Tassadar player, just knocking on the objective there. They were able to secure that one. It does not translate to a lot of things, but it does mean that the top lane's front walls are gone.
Front walls are gone. So I had to double check this because Tassadar going with Hollis Celerity at level 4, which increases the movement speed on shielded targets. Recognizing they're going to be in and their mobility isn't quite there. Yeah. Not the armor, not the extra healing, but something that I rarely, if ever, see.
I think the mobility is important because in hands of a good player, that is definitely something that you can capitalize on. It could also result in a stock difference between life and death. And here you have got the Khazras just knocking on the tower for free. Great play here by Deadlykittens.
They're just continuing to take control in every possible way. They're pushing in with this. The experience fairly even. You see a camp picked up at the bottom as well on the mini-map by Sonya. NSJ going in, but this is what they do that other teams in this region need to learn from, is they go in, they take what advantage they have, and they get out. They don't stay greedy. They stay in, they get out, they take their advantage, and you just incrementally increase your lead ever so slightly, and it adds up, and it forces the other team to respond.
I think the key thing is about creating more opportunities, which you see them doing right here, going for the camps on top. Bottom lane, Genji's going to have to respond to the mercenaries as well. And so far, still Deadlykitten out on top just a little bit more.
You know, I really like what I'm seeing right now from Resurgence. We see the camps timed. The last shrine was the top. They're leaving Brightwing up there, which means that Brightwing should be able to get a little bit more value out of that. We see the delayed camp time on the side of Deadlykittens, also trying to play to this map well. She's going to be able to respond, but the timing alone for Deadlykittens to stall that, perfectly done.
Stronger, nice side step. Zappy completes the quest. Zaze comes in. You ain't going to buy a little bit more time. Nice slow there from the Frozen Tempest, but here Resurgence gets a bit of a head start. Is it going to be enough, though?
Brightwing is going to have to do her best to clear that top lane up. And they see the stun going in. Yu Yang trying to look for the engagement of Zappy going in. The armor, though, on to Mur. Brightwing starting to come in. Mur getting very low. He's got the armor right now, the polymorph, but no follow-up as NSJ starting to return the damage. Yu Yang just barely able to walk away. And he does not. He ends up falling at the end of that. Nicely done there. They are not done trying to get more as level 10 is on fire.
Stronger was able to finish up the kill right there. And the Shrine now going in favor for Deadlykittens very quickly. You look at the way Sonya is being made use of in this map. This is the only map that Sonya has got so much more value because of the fact that Whirlwind just cleans up the Guardian so quickly. And immediately, you can tell the Resurgence is going to concede this Shrine.
They have to. They've got level 10. They're going to have to just back out. We already saw the Heroics locked in. We talked about the potential as I think it's Zappy going in there trying to create a little bit of havoc onto that Shrine. Just Zappy, man, is wild. Just wild to watch. I actually talked about it yesterday, is that he'll eventually run into a team that is punishing him. He got punished earlier, but right now continues to just be all over the place.
Okay, this fort is almost guaranteed to go down unless they want to take the team fight behind the Punisher, which is very risky. But they do have the global advantage that the Brightwing can provide. There goes the wall. Possibly going to lose the well in the process. The stun onto the Arthas, but no follow-up whatsoever. And then we have the fort is gone.
Fort's gone. And if you're on the side of Resurgence, that's pretty much the best you can ask for after being down 10. You got 10 for the defense. Brightwing was able to stay in that top lane, continue to soak, not give away that experience advantage as we saw Sonya did split off. So working out well there. Resurgence staying in this game.
All right, and there we go. Still a one level lead for Deadlykittens. Just very slow and stable lead here for the red team. Cam rotations are on point. You see the Sonya going away from the top lane to the mid lane now to soak a little bit. And just making sure that she does not overextend and get caught off guard.
Not get caught off guard. We are going to see Vala fall in the bottom, and they're going to continue to follow up here. Remember, there is no fourth. They're going in, and he is going to go down. Yu Yang, the force wall, going to lock him in as well. To stun the fall, NSJ hops into that Worgen form, confirms the kill. 3-0 trade there.
Still very nice play. Zappy, mid lane against Zace. I don't see any value from Genji against the Sonya, so he's going to be able to pull back out as well.
Pull back out, and they're going to have to try and regroup. That fight lost them quite a bit of experience. Genji was 64 stacks on that level 4, so just about completed. That will allow for him to get a little bit more burst damage here in just a bit. But we are going to be quickly approaching our next Shrine phase, and the fact that Resurgence gave up a lot in that, did not get the soak, they're going to be fighting either down in talent tier or they're going to be giving up yet another Punisher.
Oh, man. Capricorn, aggressive plays all the way out in the front. And Brightwing just soaking the top lane to try to make sure that at least they can compete the next Shrine on even talent here, but it's not going to be easy because they still have got almost 1 1/4 of a level to catch up on.
Yu Yang pushing out really far out here by himself. The stun, the slow is going in. Army's going to be out, but it's going to be too late. As Yu Yang's going to go down, they're going to turn their attention onto Zappy. But you got to think there, that is way too aggressive to be stepping out there. When your team splits and your supports are gone, you just back up, wait for that experience to come to you. Don't force the issue.
And Meltis going to be okay. Zappy pulls back out as well. And once again, it's a free Shrine for Deadlykittens. Very convincing.
Not only do they get the free Shrine, but the defense here is they're going in there. Emerald Wind forcing them back. Divine Shield already used. Divine Palm went out on a 100% health target. A bit of a misclick there, but Zappy coming in, still looking for the fight. They're going in right now, Babel.
And Caffrey dropping a lot of HP, trying to pull back out. Stronger comes in, gives chase. Malthus also going to be fine. There goes the Sanctification. Genji going to be okay, but Yu Yang is in town now. He lands the root, goes in. There comes this, a little bit of an extra whirlwind. Yu Yang pulling out once more, but no Divine Palm. They got to have to play it safe.
They've got to play it safe. They've got to back out. The good thing is they bought a little bit of time that entire time. They also got a bit of experience.
Still the well. Yeah.
They've got that, but they're almost to 13. You see Genji using that dash, going up. He needs to try and get body, so get to 13. Nice Howling Blast. Going to get the root there, but they're going to try and re-engage, try and get this fight. They recognize they don't want to give up too much more of a Punisher. They're looking for a fight. Look at the backside. Zappy looking for the flank.
And Capri taking too much beating. Zace looking for the space to go in. Capri got to be very careful. NSJ goes in, finishes off the Vala. Capricorn is down now. Enever up against Zappy one-on-one. Zappy without the protect. Here goes the Emerald Wind on the left side. Zay still pressurizing onto Yu Yang. The palm will go in. Will connect. NSJ now pulls back out, but the wall will stop Yu Yang's retreat. He still goes down. Zappy trying to make play both upside and left side, and it seems like NSJ will maybe cocktail. There we go. Wow.
3 letters. NSJ. Now, yes, he got the kill at the end there. Yes, he did a lot, but he sidestepped the Genji E, diving in. If he had hit that, that's a reset for Genji, and that is a dead gray main, and that is some type of damage control. Instead, NSJ making every single play for his team.
Very nicely done. The Punisher now pushing in the mid area. Capricorn with a strafe. Divine Shield onto gray main just to keep him safe there. Gonna be able to try and find an exit to get out. Yu Yang gonna be fine. Punisher is not gonna get more than the walls done. Zappy once again just playing very aggressively. Almost a 3-level lead. There we go. 3-level lead for Deadlykittens.
Zappy is insane. I mean, you can get away with that with Genji, but he is all the time. Look at this party bush going in. Capricorn is going to find Tyrael, no follow-up. Zappy, however, is on the right side. They're going to try and turn their attention on to Stronger. Izzy out of position. Holy Ground going to lock out a few more members, but Zappy going in. He already used his E. He hits the deflect. He re-engaged there. I have no idea why.
I think it's just buying time for Stronger to go down, but Stronger is stronger and will not die. Yu Yang on the flip side.
Goodbye.
Oh, man. No palm, nothing. You know, I wouldn't even want to waste those resources.
Oh, man. They're just going to go. And this is another opportunity for Deadlykittens. They're going to walk right up, take the keep. They already did the damage earlier. They just walk right in, take this. There's almost no threat. Got to be careful of a few of those tower shots. Come in, watch them take the keep. They'll get right back out.
Yep. Just min-maxing. Min-maxing right here. The polymorph on the one target. Zace. Maybe a Kitty Ember window. Stronger out of position. But look at his Eldruin. It's going to get cancelled out. Genji gets the reset, but completely out of position for it to be useful.
That was interesting. Deadlykittens, what in the world was that? They still got that keep. They still got that value, but a little bit sloppy.
Okay, so now the keep is down, and on the side for Deadlykittens, they still have got all 6 structures still standing firmly. Resurgence, late game. Yeah, Genji's going to apply a little bit more pressure than before, but unless you're going to hit 16, I don't think they are able to just make a difference here.
They're looking for the invade. Going to be there a little bit late, but they've got to start looking. They're going to see if they can catch them in the rotation, but they're finding nothing but empty space. And again, they need 16, but it's going to be a very tough thing to get. They're going to clear up the mid lane, get rid of this catapult, buy a little bit of time. But Zappy, again, sometimes I feel it's forcing. The issue is the force wall going in. Capricorn, the Divine Palm is going to land on time. Divine Shield and Sanctification are both out there going in right now. Down goes Capricorn. Stronger following up as the fight breaking out on the backside as well.
Very nice timing on the Sanctification. Now Yu Yang on the other side. Probably going to go down. Zappy's been trying to kill this Tassadar the entire game, but is not able to do so. And there we have the spear going in, and that is a dead Genji. The game should be over right about now.
They are just going to walk directly into the core. This is Deadlykittens trying to stake their claim as the SEA champions, trying to book their ticket to the Eastern Clash, and they are walking to the core, Babel.
Right, Mur knocking on it. Zace, yeah, this should be game. In just about 20 seconds, we see Genji back in this game. But can they pick up one more kill before that? Or do they want to just knock on the core? I think it's game here. J-How, once again, we have with us a champion in the making. Deadlykittens will be your Southeast Asian representative to the Eastern Clash. This has been fun.
In an absolutely dominant weekend, Deadlykittens looks like they are just miles ahead of their peers. Just miles ahead of their peers. They did this to every single team they played against. They didn't win. They dominated. I am just so impressed with how well we saw Deadlykittens do. It is just incredible what they've picked up. The subtle changes, their play style, the way that they've addressed their early game, the way that they've addressed their macro game. They're not perfect yet. They are not in their final form. But the small things that I've seen them pick up, I'm telling you, this is a different and better team than what I saw about a month ago. I was there. I witnessed it firsthand. I talked to them multiple times. They recognized their mistakes. They said, the best chance we have is to stay together and get better. And I tell you what, when I saw them in April, they looked good, and then they faltered near the end. And now all of a sudden we see them again, and they just look like, look, we had our opportunities, except this time we're not slipping. And I am so impressed with what I saw this weekend from Deadlykittens. Just
very,
blown away.
Very impressive. I think at the end of the day, Deadlykittens as a team has progressed a lot. And this comes with the fact that they have trained very hard. You know, it's like they put in a lot of effort, a lot of hours into making sure that they stay the best possible way that they can. We saw what happened when they broke up as a team, and that's where, you know, ironically, it's the only time Resurgence won. But apart from that, they stuck together, and they improved a lot. We got a replay of the last fight, which we're going to play in tribute and honor of our C champions, if you will. And let's take a look at that replay right now. So look at this play right here, all right? Capricorn out of position, yes, but that timing, stronger. He knows when the Emerald Wind is going to be used, and he negated it completely. That fight would have been very different. Resurgence would have gotten the space that they needed if Stronger did not make that play.
Max range spear coming in here in a second.
Not this one.
Yeah, it's going to be here. Zappy's going to go, and then, you know, you got poison spear. Watch this. Sonya's like, get over here. And then NSJ doing NSJ things on Greymane. Just completely dominant performance. I mean, NSJ, Inavir, all of these teams, it's just a perfect composition for them. They understand that when they have Dahaka, they understand where their 4-man lies. They understand where their strengths lie in the macro game. When it comes to team fighting, they recognize their members that can do well. They supplement each other. The Tassadar force walls force out a lot of issues for them. I'm just so impressed. I mean, you know, you talk about this team sticking together, and, you know, we had a chance to sit down and talk to them at the midseason brawl. Some of these members, being from the Philippines, they recognize they go to a LAN center to practice. They commit. They put the time in. They said it takes 2 hours of travel each time to go there. And that's the thing about this team is they're committed. They're putting in the hours. This isn't just some team that won some smaller region. This is a team that's dedicated. They put in the time. They have the talent. They have the skill. I am happy that this is the team that's representing the Southeast Asia region. Inside, I feel it, man. I am excited for this team. Shout outs to the rest of the teams that were here. You can see the progress in this region. But again, Deadlykittens, the rightful owner at the top of this region, shows why they're going to be going on.
There's really a lot of reasons why Deadlykittens are, you know, your champions. And first and foremost, like you said, the number of hours they put into training, the fact that they bother to go to another region to scrim against Asian, you know, teams, and that's like down 150 MS. You are slower, but you learn strategies, you practice there. And also the fact that as a team, they've gotten a lot of experience. And they know what they want. It's not just to be a C representative. They're not going on holidays. They are there to prove a point. And eventually, they believe they'll get there. So that is just, it speaks volume, really, about how far a team can go, even in a minor region like ours here. And the good thing about this competition is that, like you said, we've seen a lot of new blood, new talent coming in. And these are all individually strong players. But when you put in the effort, not just play Hero League in your free time, but if you put in the effort to train as a team, commit the set amount of hours per day, I'm sure that there will be stronger competition from Southeast Asia. There's a lot of names in Hero League that I see, and they are all good players, but they just don't have a team yet. So if this is any form of inspiration to you guys, just at least step out of your comfort zone. You know, try and put in some practice. You start by getting a team going. You start by being like Lauda, Playstorm, right? Playstorm did really well this tournament. They got 4th place. Yes, nothing big, considering that the first 3 spots are the same bunch of players for the last 2 seasonals. In fact, 3. This is the 3rd one. So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is always Resurgence / Deadlykittens, whatever. And then you have got Meowpoke, right? Playstorm is starting to take a bit of control in a sense that you look at the lineup. Hiscoa, you look at the lineup, Lauda, TNK, Linex, Perez. Perez is a kid. Perez is so young. And he's getting noticed right here, being top 4. So shout outs to Perez, and I hope that Playstorm sticks together, train more. I have to tell you that Thai players, they speak bad English. Straight away. Bad English. And Filipinos, they got good English, but they prefer speaking Tagalog a little bit, their local language, right? So for a team like Playstorm to come together, that is the power of SEA, because I can bet with you that they don't understand each other half the time, but when you see that kind of coordination coming out, the Gorge, the Bright Wing going to Emerald Wind, they know what to do, and it's all about just practicing again, that it becomes muscle memory. And that's where a team can possibly take down Deadlykittens. But so far, nothing to take away from Merzace, Stronger, NSJ, Enever. Every one of those guys are stars in their own right. They make this team work. It's not one player. I know we talked a lot about NSJ. We talked a lot about NSJ. We talked a lot about Zace. They're both very good players. But without the strong support from Enever, without the strong support from Mer, or even stronger, this team would not work. And that is exactly my point right here.
In closing, I'm going to say this, and this is something that I don't know if has ever been said, but I think this is the most appropriate time to say it. Every time I go to a large global event, all the smaller region teams is how we'll call them, whether it's in Taiwan, whether it's here in SEA, they all say they look towards Korea. They look at the inspiration there. They look to learn strategies and stuff like there. And I think this is the first time I can confidently say that if you're in this region, you no longer have to look outside of your region to find a team that is functioning at the top of their game. It's a bit of a bold statement, but what I saw this weekend from Deadlykittens, I saw everything from the early game to the mid game to the late game. Battleground control, team fighting. You can now look within your own region in SEA and have somebody look up to you. You no longer have to look outside of your region. You can look within your region, learn from this, and prepare to take them on in the next one. But for now, Deadlykittens will be representing SEA at the Eastern Clash.
Yeah, it's Deadlykittens time to shine. So all the best to Deadlykittens in the Eastern Clash. We hope you guys will finish in a good spot. That's it. That rounds up the broadcast for us this weekend. We hope you guys enjoy our cast. I'm Babel. With me is Jehao. Thank you once again for flying all the way here from the US.
Pleasure.
It's always nice to have you on this desk. And we'll see you next Southeast Asia Regional, where we finally play for BlizzCon.